Season 1 with Tupapa Maraerenga was a resounding success, as we won the Cook Islands Round Cup, which is the league, as well as the Cook Islands Cup, which is the cup. But now we enter the new year and a new competition, the much more logically named Oceania Champions League. We travel to Tonga for this group stage where local champions Via Tongo are hosting. And look at that, they even built a brand new stadium just for the occasion. Indeed, we would face the host club on the first match day. Early in the second half here, it looked like Graham the Viking would help us spoil the party at the new digs. But just after the hour mark, we were caught out by a clever corner routine. 1-1 the final score. 2 records set in that match as Shane Tutero again took a record youngest ever player in the competition this time, and Milanovic became the oldest ever O-League player at 50. A few days later we took on American Samoan champs Pago Youth, who had also drawn their opening game against Samoa's Vaipuna. Graham the Viking again set us on our way, and then in the second half he started the move that led to Shane Tutero scoring a second, and earning yet another youngest ever record. Did we get too cocky too quickly though? Maybe, as we failed to clear a rebound from the post and Pago Youth pulled one back. We responded in style, however, as McCoy and Everman Milanovic set up Lee Harmon. Pago Youth were not giving up either though, and soon had the deficit back to 1. We would re-establish the 2-goal lead as Gibbons caught the defence flat-footed to make it 4-2. But the net rippling was not over yet as Pago Youth again exploited the flanks, this time with a low cross. That thankfully was the end of the scoring as we won 4-3, and with another 1-1 draw in the Vaitongo vs Vaipuna game, we sat top of the group heading into the final match day. With qualification on the line, McCoy showed he was the real deal. Gibbons then used his quick feet to outsmart the opposition defence yet again. Vaipuna did threaten a comeback with a goal in the final 12 minutes, but we held on for the win and top spot in the preliminary round group. Straight away we were thrust into the OFC Champions League proper, drawn into Group B where we would face Tahitian champions AS Tefana, New Caledonian champs AS Lucy, and New Zealanders Western Suburbs, who will also host the group. Now, of course, the New Zealand teams are the ones to beat in this competition, but at least Western Suburbs are currently struggling in the league. And look at that, they're amateur just like us. Tefana and Lucy, however, they're both semi-professional. And look, they pay their players and everything. By the way, I used add-ons to make sure I've got all the Oceanian leagues loaded, so every team we come up against is going to have a full squad of players. We started by taking on the hosts Western Suburbs, and we were a goal down just after half-time. A second goal from a corner sealed our fate, as we failed to register a single shot on target. Still 2-0 and goalless at half-time, not that bad. A few days later we would take on AS Lucy, and this did not look good as we went a goal down inside 2 minutes. But we would bounce back immediately, Lee Harmon proving that getting shots on target increases your chances of scoring. On 20 minutes striker Marcus Gibbons made a run into the box and was tripped. Penalty! Mateariki stepped up and we were in the lead. Our lead would be short-lived though as Lucy came at us and levelled the scores with this absolute screamer. And that was all in the first half hour. In the rest of the game, nothing. That meant we were bottom of our group after 2 rounds of play, but with our final game still to come against Tefana, a win could see us leapfrog them into second. And of course, we made it tough for ourselves. We were a goal down within 5 minutes, and then a poorly timed tackle from veteran Grover Harmon led to a penalty and us being 2 goals down. But wait, this game was not over yet. Just before half-time, Toru Mateariki found way too much space in the box, drove forward and smashed one in. And then just a minute later, right from the kickoff, we won the ball off AS Tefana, and it was Mateariki who turned provider this time, picking out Tutero on the edge of the area, and suddenly we were level. It got even better in the second half as we worked that right wing harder than a billionaire at an inauguration. McCoy lofting a ball to Graham Viking, who somehow found the angle to squeeze us in front. And if we can hold on to this lead, potentially into the next round as well. And we did hold on to that lead, until the hour mark when a goal kick was quickly returned to us and suddenly the tie was level. All it would take was 1 goal, just 1 goal to put us back into the top 2 of the group, and a goal came, but it was for Tefana as we failed to clear the ball again. and were punished by Francois Mou, and it would be Mou who finished off the scoring deep into injury time. A 5-3 defeat in the end, and rock bottom of the group. But at least we were able to dream for a short while, and I think with a little bit of luck and a little bit of improvement, we could challenge for a top 2 place next time. Jumping ahead to March now, and we get our first youth intake, and look at the stars on that striker. Okay, maybe on closer inspection he's not that hot, but this is the Cook Islands, don't forget. And don't forget that it's thanks to Sangalo that we are playing this save in the Cook Islands in the first place. And if you want to play your part in supporting football on the other side of the world, you know what to do. There is a referral link in the pinned comment and the description of my video. I don't get any kind of commission or kickback from this, but a percentage of your sale will go directly to Tupapa Maraerenga FC. Now back to that youth intake. So yeah, Samuel Brogan, he can finish, he's got a bit of pace, he'll be scoring for the first team before you know it. John Brogan, no relation, will add some depth in between the sticks, and yeah, we handed out a lot of contracts, which is thankfully quick when they're all amateur contracts. We also signed 2 Cook Islanders pinched from rival teams, and Gato Kotaru Edwards fills a gap at fullback, and Jarves Apparao provides some cover in midfield. Alas, we won't see them in action for a while, as it's March in game at the moment, and the Round Cup doesn't kick off again until September. But we do have international action as the Cook Islands play in the first round of the OFC Nations Cup. This would be a single round-robin tournament hosted by Samoa, with American Samoa also in action, as well as our first opponents, Tonga. I picked a squad of players from around the Oceania region, and in our first game we would have to wait until early in the second half to score, with Emile Burrow turning on a sixpence. Our second goal was powered in by Mata. This one, not that one of course. Tonga threatened a comeback from a corner of their own, but Lee Harmon soon restored our lead and secured the win. Off to a good start, which continued against Samoa on match day 2 as Tupapa Maraerenga new signing Jarvis Apparao scored on his international debut. Late in the game, as Samoa pushed forward, we hit them on the break. Graham the Viking the scorer, 2-0 the final score. And wow, that was enough to already secure top spot and progression to the OFC Nations Cup proper. That made our final game with American Samoa a dead rubber, but still 2 goals of note, as the Tupapa Maraerenga elite youth talent we were introduced to earlier in the episode, Samuel Brogan, scored twice in the opening 7 minutes of his debut. Definitely a talent to watch there, as we won 4-0. There's confirmation of our dominance of the first round. In the mix now with the big boys, we're in Group A, avoiding New Zealand, instead coming up against Fiji, Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu. Now those matches will not take place until June, so I guess we'll leave them for the next episode.